Because I criticized G Fuel, which nobody should go after people's sponsors if they're inhuman fucking scum.
See, Ethan, hey, that's a perceptive thing that you're saying there, because that could easily be spun around on you or me or anyone on this fucking platform, or literally anyone who makes fucking money through sponsors or virtually anything. Because if so and so on a fucking Chan site with a thread that has a hit list of people who they want to defund, who want to shame their sponsors and get rid of them. Yes, those exist, by the way. Look them up. Um, and you just gave them the go ahead to say, well, I think Ethan Klein or Ela Klein or August or fucking anyone really, to give them the go ahead to say, yeah, I think they're a scumbag, so I'm gonna fucking make sure that they don't get fucking paid for what they do in terms of sponsorships. The whole thing with you saying people should criticize and shame sponsors because the people that they're sponsoring are fucking scumbags is a perceptive thing. And you just literally opened a box not knowing the implications that it fucking has. Okay? I can't understand how someone who's been on this platform longer than me as a content creator, let alone anyone really, a lot of people really, did not understand that there is an implication as to why people don't say things like that. Because it could be easily spun around and affect the ones that you love and you care about, or even yourself.
Let me address this head on. I am not someone that supports going after somebody's sponsors to try to cancel them for something bad they've said.
But yet you did it with Keemstar. Okay? So, and you know what? Listen, granted, Keemstar did the exact fucking same thing to other people in the past. So I'm not gonna sit here and fucking suck Keem's dick. I'm going to call him out just as bad as you. Because you both fucking did it. There's the baseline. You both fucking did it. So, but the thing here, though, Ethan, is you gave the go ahead for other people to do it to other people based on perceptive things, like if they're a fucking scumbag. Which, by the way, Ethan, people already fucking knew. Everyone fucking knows Daniel is a fucking asshole. We've been reminded this ever since Drama Alert has been a thing. So thank you for feeding the reverb machine.
G Fuel is as much a part of Keemstar's identity as his beard. He has it on his head in every video. He's got it on the desk in every video. It's very much a part of his identity. How am I supposed to criticize Keemstar and not address the fact that G Fuel is on his desk at every time in the hurricane of destruction? There's always G Fuel sitting there on his desk. How am I not supposed to talk about that?
Ethan, your wife runs a funding project called Teddy Fresh, right? It's a clothing brand. Um, and as far as I'm aware, every podcast, or at least most of them, have an advertisement from your wife's funding brand project that has been funded either out of your pocket, which your pocket comes from sponsors, right? And or out of her own deals with other places, like what is it? Uh, a few other clothing brands. I've got to think about them. The point is, there's money going somewhere, and your wife's clothing brand is just as part as your identity as Keemstar's G Fuel. See, what you did here, okay, is by opening the floodgates for this sponsor shaming bullshit, and this goes back to Harbor with what I was saying earlier about how opening your mouth about something has implications to how other people in your life get affected, uh, tends to be a thing, right? You're wearing your wife's clothing brand, Teddy Fresh, okay? What is the off chance that these Chan sites with these hit lists for sponsor shaming, what is the off chance that your wife's fucking brand gets that target, okay? And that her funding gets lost? Or better yet, um, if it's out of your pocket, what is the off chance that, you know, oh, I don't know. They target your sponsors and you can't help pay your fucking wife's funding for her fucking clothing brand. You see how the implications of this goes? Just because Keemstar's G Fuel identity thing is such a big fucking deal to you, which it clearly is because you mentioned it prior into an interview with him on your podcast years ago.
Like, I know G Fuel doesn't pay that well. Goddamn.
They take care of me. They're good.
Well, I never see what that G Fuel has.
What is the off chance that people aren't going to target Teddy Fresh? I'm just pointing it out.
Maybe the problem is Keemstar, who's so irresponsible in his coverage of news topics, shouldn't integrate a brand in it. If G Fuel dropped Keemstar, I would say that's very much Keemstar's fault.
Gee, I wonder how many discussions Ela's probably had with him in regards to him being irresponsible with his choice of words. Because it could jeopardize her brand. I don't know. That's just an assumption, really. But I would kind of figure at least that conversation had came up at least once. Hopefully. Hey, Ethan. The reason why he says it's a first is because the difference between his situation and your situation is he never would said the go-ahead to say, hey, people, fucking sponsor shame this person. Okay? You directly fucking said it. And whether or not he said it indirectly is null and void. This was fucking years ago. Okay? And he had already been criticized for it. You are once again digging up old dirt. But again, the situation's a little bit different. That doesn't negate the fact that you both called for sponsor shaming. Okay? But the difference between him and you is he didn't fucking tell people to deliberately fucking do it and give the go-ahead. You did. Before I end the video, I'm going to discuss a little bit more about one or two more things, because I want to point out these two things, and maybe you might want to consider them. Notice how I fucking didn't mention Desmond, or also known as Etika, in this video. Because for one, if you take out Etika in the first fucking video, and as much as Ethan would like to make that as a full-blown fucking narrative, which clearly it's not and it should have never have been, the video is just a belated direct attack. A petty one at that, with nothing to fucking back it up in terms of actual narrative or reason to give an attack to Keem. Okay? And the other thing is I want to point this out, which is really simple. Do you really fucking think that for years, these two, and at any given moment, they were just gonna set their differences aside and move on? Fuck no. These two have been going at it for fucking years. Do you really think for a second that this was never going to come out of the blue? That this was never going to fucking happen? No, this was bound to happen. And you know what? Guess what? In the short term, guess who wins? Small commentary creators. Because at the end of the day, they get their paycheck. But in the long term of things, everyone fucking loses. Keemstar does. Fucking Ethan does. Everyone loses in the long term. Because at the end of the day, we're already seeing it now. You have creators like Augie RFC, Tipster, and even Keemstar himself getting demonetized. Even on the exception that Keemstar has been a 2-week suspension demonetized, which is utter fucking bullshit, but whatever. But the bottom line is, a situation like this, since it's keeping to escalate because these two can't fucking stop, it goes to show how fucking ridiculous this is. Everyone's going to lose in this. And honestly, it's all because Ethan wanted to open his fucking mouth and open Pandora's mouth without no implications as to what exactly is going to happen. Okay? And honestly, none of this did need to fucking happen. My name is August, Lil Flamey, and I'm fucking done with this.
JRH Media. Just right.
Did you get the memo?
Shot, get my enema bucket!